Wonderful to see you today. I know I've been on a bit of a hiatus from this video production for a bit, so happy to be back and re-energized. Today I want to talk about having cadence calls with your MSP. What do I mean by cadence call? I mean a scheduled periodic call on some type of frequency. So this could be like a quarterly call. A lot of times you might hear this referred to as a quarterly business review in our industry by a lot of MSPs. This could be a monthly call. Maybe, depending on your size and depending on how much work you're doing with the MSP, maybe you need to be on a call more than once a quarter. Maybe it's once a month. I've even done them on a weekly basis, particularly during a project or during an implementation. We're on a cadence call once a week. A lot of that depends on what's going on, but the purpose of the cadence call is a chance to talk about things outside of the day-to-day. So particularly if you have a project going on, you really need to be on cadence calls to talk about the status of the project, to set goals, to build accountability. But even on an ongoing basis, once we're out of projects and implementation, it's good to be on a periodic call to talk about how things are going, to plan for your next fiscal year. If you have an expansion coming up, it might be good for your MSP to know about that sooner rather than later. We can really get in front of if there's a service issue, maybe that one ticket that irritated somebody, but it wasn't enough for you to pick up the phone and call the MSP and say, hey, this isn't acceptable. But that one little ticket, or maybe there was 2 or 3 of those tickets that didn't quite go the way they should have. This is a good time to talk about that and to communicate with each other. Another thing that happens in cadence calls that I think is invaluable is it's a good time to build rapport. I have a customer that I do cadence calls with frequently, and the guy's adamant that we spend about half of the call just talking about, how was your weekend? How was your week? What's going on? How's your family? And this person and I have built a wonderful rapport with each other through these calls. And I think that's invaluable to a relationship that's founded on trust, that we know each other. I talked a little bit about accountability. When we have a cadence call, let's say once a week, at the end of the call, we should be setting a goal for what's going to be accomplished by next week, both for the end customer as well as for the MSP. What are we going to accomplish by next week? These calls are so instrumental in making progress there. Even if it's on a quarterly basis, what are we going to accomplish over the next quarter? We're taking notes, and next quarter when we get together, we're going to revisit that and stay on track and accomplish more through these calls. Those goals are invaluable for getting out of your day-to-day routine, if you will, and really growing and moving on to the next level. Over time, it keeps us on track. These cadence calls should not be longer than 30 minutes at the absolute max, but I even like to target them as a 15-minute call. Let's get on, let's have our chit-chat, social time, let's build rapport, let's get down to business. What's going on? What are our goals? Did we meet our past goals, and what are our next goals? And let's wrap up the call. When we keep them short like that, they don't become a burden. We're not trying to schedule a 1-hour call where it's a 15-minute call. We all have 15 minutes we can get on a call and accomplish something that brings us to the next level. So schedule those cadence calls. James Roten, need computer help. Great to see you. Look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.